And so I'll call you Guilford, right? Okay.
GIF,
Beautiful.
just GIF. That's
Yes.
it. Just
Okay.
yeah, GIF.
All right.
Hey,
Love
my
that.
name because my great grandfather he actually I think it's he changed his name and then that's where the Gifford came in. For some reason he had to change his name, but it was Cordova. But
Oh,
yeah. So it's in the DNA. And we got Rene, Rene is here with us right now.
what's up,
And we're
everybody?
hello. And now we actually met on a group chat, and it was really cool because I was looking at some of his comments, and I was like, oh, okay, what does he have going on here? So I invited him on to the channel to come and enjoy some time with the fam. So everybody
Awesome.
welcome Rene, and thank you for coming
Thank
on,
you.
Rene.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. So
Mhm.
Jersey boy.
Yeah. Well, I'm in PA now, but I was raised there. Yes.
Yeah, my mom and dad, they were on the other side. They were in Hempstead, Long Island, but we got family all over, the place up there. Everybody
But
does, don't they?
yeah, yeah. Nowadays, yeah.
Somebody's got an uncle or a cousin or someone up there. And
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
yeah, I used to love going to New York and and back in the 80s, I'm telling my age, and back in the 90s, it was so different. I mean, it was just so different. Even like the what I've seen a big change in is like the Chinese Chinatown. When you go into the stores, I remember when I was young, they had a like if I was looking for a toy, they had
Hmm.
more stuff that was like handmade or it was part of the culture. It felt
Yeah.
like you were in China back
Yeah.
then.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Hmm.
now I feel like how when you go to the beach and you go to one gift shop, then you go to another gift shop and they got the
And
same
it's the
stuff and
same thing. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
and
Not the same price, but the same
yeah,
thing.
that's right. And you realize it's all corporate and it's
Yeah.
so the last time I went up to New York, and I was up there visiting my cousin. Shout out to Special K from the Tetris 3. If you remember
Hmm.
Run DMC, Special K, Kumo D. But I was up there and I was walking around, man, and it just kind of broke my heart going into those shops, man. It
Yeah.
just felt like the
Yeah.
same old thing that they're losing the culture, and that's what I
Becoming. Yeah.
right, and that's what I enjoy going there for is the culture,
Where are you at now?
right now I'm in the Carolinas.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Good old Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm in that area,
Okay.
but I'm all over the
Nice.
Carolinas. I go Georgia, all those places as well. But
Okay. I got
yeah.
family down there.
Oh,
Good.
okay. Yeah. Good deal. Good deal. Maybe I'll meet them one day.
For sure. For sure.
All right. So you grew up in the Jehovah's Witness religion. Tell us a little bit about your story.
I
Uh
didn't grow up in the Jehovah
oh,
Witness.
you didn't. Oh, okay.
No,
Okay.
no, no, no.
Okay.
So um it was a small group um of people that just they tried to their best to serve God, and they had their lens, they had their a cultural identity when it comes to how you should dress.
Wow.
And
Okay. Hence my confusion because it sounds just like the Jehovah's Witness religion. But go
mhm.
ahead. Wow. Go
Well,
ahead. Keep going.
it's there's a lot of things that in a lot of groups that we prioritize where perhaps a priority is not needed. And I came from a group where I noticed that there was a priority where Jesus didn't put a priority,
Mm,
and where he put a priority there seemed to be like this loving and merciful attitude when clearly there's something disrupting the loving flow.
mm,
And you know but when you're raised there from seeing this from 2 years old, this is this is normal.
Right.
This is normal. You know,
That's your
you're
reality.
seeing, yeah, this is reality. This is sublime. You know, what you see is what you take it like if it was directly coming from the heavens and whatnot. But like I said,
Wow.
I lived with my mother, so I only was part of this culture maybe during the summers or during the weekends. And to be honest with you, I think that there was a lot of good there. I learned a lot, and it's easy, especially when you're in pain and you're in hurt, to easily take the hurt and view things in I don't know, like if there was no good,
That's
you
right.
know, like but but it's not always like that. It's just when you ignore and you're coping all your life and you're ignoring these things, finally when you realize it bursts so much, it's like, it's like the blood is all over the place and
Yeah,
there's a
yeah.
big mess and you got to clean it up, and you're seeing your past with different islands. And
That's right.
I I think it's, but I'm past all that stage of hurt and pain, and now I just want to see things the way that God has, to the best that I can see that Jesus was
Right.
teaching. So
Right.
my father introduced me to this group, and they had a pastor, and like I said, in the summers I would visit, in the weekends because my father didn't have full custody,
Oh, yeah, okay.
like I said. So I'm lucky that I was able to see another side of things.
Yeah.
However, with all that, I still had the group in high esteem, and I still do. I still have much love. However, there comes a time where you see one thing, and then your eyes are seeing another, and you have to mature and call things as they are. And that's sometimes you have to break away.
Right.
So we there's so I said that, that one of the priorities there was, for example, clothing and how you dress. And I'm not saying that that's not good. That I'm not saying that, and I'm not saying there's not a holiness to it and a separation. However, we see in the scriptures that God nor Jesus ever made emphasis on clothing.
Right.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but clothing doesn't seem um as importance in scripture, even though I think it goes without saying there
It
is a
does.
certain
Yeah, there's like a modesty that we're supposed to present. That's the main thing, but it didn't go into specifics what
no,
exactly what it was.
no.
Yeah.
Um and then then within the church sometimes, and in any group, any community, you see certain behaviors that are not good.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's right.
whether it be sexual morality
Swept
or
under the
some
swept under the rug, depending on who you know.
whatever, like it's, and it's not even a big deal because I come from rough beginnings. I've seen it all. This is
Right.
not. I've seen abuse and people mistreating others physically and in every way. However, there is an emphasis. So if imagine being in a community where, hey, dude, why you have your hair like that? And getting all mad, like, yo, you gotta fix your hair. That hair is not right. But you see this dude treating this girl bad, and you say nothing. And
Mm.
so you see how something is off. Something is not right in the, in the way that people are viewing things, and ultimately the way you're viewing things, because you're part of that collective.
Right.
And to fit in, you have to see things the way people see things, or you're not gonna fit in. And
Right.
so that's what part of my, in a nutshell, that's part of what I was seeing as I was growing up. And it took me 35 years or 34 years to like stand up to what I believe.
I literally have right here, how long did it take you to heal? That's my next question that I was about to ask you.
Yeah, that's
35 years.
it's and and it's I think it's like a spiritual, a mental thing. And the reason I say it's a spiritual, a mental thing is because there are certain truths that really are very clear, before God, how we should love and how we should treat each other. Should not be, I shouldn't be at 34 years old, be like, whoa, I need to love my neighbor. Like that should
That's
not be happening.
a good point. That's a good
You
point.
know, like
Yeah, keep going. That's a good point.
one, you know, one of the things that, and one of the main doctrinal teachings that I think I want to do a lot of emphasis on is the idea that the humanity of Jesus. And the reason I think this is important is because it seems that the scriptures favored him for a reason. And the God favored this man because he loved what was good and he hated what was evil. And so when I was viewing him as a God man or a man God or however you want to see it, um, well, the dude's Superman. Of course, he's not going to do any wrong. Of course, he can handle that temptation. Sin bounces off of him like bullets. You know what I mean? But when I was able to see that his humanity and the what went without saying is his struggles to do what was right. Jesus had passions. The scripture says that he was sweating. He told the
Blood.
father, yeah, he told the father, what did he tell the father? Let this cup pass from me. And so this it shows that, but his nature, because he has a nature, I
Right.
call that simple humanity, but his nature didn't want to suffer for others. It's not easy. It's not that
The
he didn't.
human nature, the
Yeah,
fleshly side of everyone.
that's right. I don't want to go to work sometimes, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't want
Right.
to clean up my yard. I
Right.
don't want to paint,
Yeah.
but I see it like, hey, it's gonna be nice when I invite my friends over and they're like, wow, that color's nice. And
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I didn't want to have to
whatever.
fix the fuse before we got online just now and find
Yeah,
which one it was.
yeah. So
Uh,
so the my biggest point is here, when I started noticing, and I still wasn't out, but when I started noticing the humanity of Jesus, I felt shame because if he could do it, why can't I?
mm, mhm.
Why was he able to be flawless? Was it because God helped him out and he was? I just feel like, how do you reward someone that you gave him a cutting edge to do things? If I give you a car to beat someone in a running race and then I reward you for winning, I feel like that's kind of messed up.
Mhm.
I gave you a
Mhm.
bike and that's why you beat the other guy.
Right.
That's kind of messed up. If I gave you hormones, right, so you can
Right.
box, that's kind of messed up. And then I reward you for being the better boxer.
Mm.
But Jesus, and this is my point of view. I know we all see things a little bit different in shades, but Jesus was rewarded because he was a good dude.
Yeah.
And so it made me feel like, what? All this time, I felt like the only, I felt like only God could be good. Jesus was good because he was a God man.
Mm.
And only God be good and good. And I felt shame
Mm.
when I
Mhm.
realized something was off here.
Mm.
And so, I mean, I can keep going, brother. I
No,
just,
no, no. I mean, this is what this is all about. You
yeah,
know, it's really funny if I can interject real quick. You
please,
fell on an amazing platform. So the people, the viewers, the fam that is watching you right now,
yeah,
I promise you they're confounded because they're saying to themselves, because the majority of the viewers on this platform are ex-Jehovah's Witnesses.
yeah. I kind of got that. Yes.
Okay. So when
Yeah.
I was hearing your story, I actually put down in my notes when you were talking, but because of the way you were talking, I put down ex-Jehovah's Witness.
Hmm.
So your story in reality is fitting right in, because when an ex-Jehovah's Witness leaves, and this is one of the questions I have a little bit later on, I was going to let you keep going, but and I don't want to do a spoiler, but one of the things is I was going to ask you about, because I went through the whole, I didn't, once I left, I didn't believe in God. I went through a certain point where I was really questioning if he really existed at the Bible. I don't know about the Bible
That's
no
good and
more,
bad, right?
you know. So
Yeah,
so
yeah.
but so the people, so the fam that is watching right now, they are ex Jehovah's Witnesses, so they're cheering you on right now. I promise you that. They're definitely cheering you on. But yeah, you can keep going. I did have one question. Okay. And I don't know if this is premature, but if you still have more to say before you answer
Oh, no,
this,
go ahead, go
the
ahead. I
the
go
the
in and out.
the
I'm good.
the mic is here. So to the viewers that are watching right now, you said it took 35 years for you to get, and we call it the healing point. Okay, so you said that's the point when you stood up. And it took you 35 years. Now it took me, I don't have a number. It took me since 2005,
Okay.
2000, 2008 really.
Hmm.
And then all the way into now, and I'm talking like last year, itching into this year, and then
I know,
finally
I
I
know.
stood up.
You're good, brother. With me, there's no. I get it.
Yeah. So what do you recommend for the ones that are in the years?
Um, I there's a lot to say. I think one of the things is just to be true to yourself. So, like you mentioned that you struggle with the ideology of, is this being called God really a being? And so, like, naturally, I could be like, dude, what's wrong with you? Like, you're losing your faith. Like, what's wrong with your head, dude? You're like slipping. But shouldn't that be the first question we want
Mm,
answered?
right.
Is, who is God? What is God? And what's he have to do with me? And so these things are important. Sometimes we jump into a boat and we don't even care about how to fish.
Mm,
We're not even worried of what we're doing on the boat. We just jump in. I think it's to be real with yourself. It's not about leaving or moving. It's about inside of you, that you look deep within yourself and you're saying, why do I think the way I think? Like, you almost got to prove it to yourself
right.
again.
Right.
And so I believe in God because, and I think Jesus is because, and I'm a decent dude because like I believe in objective. Jesus says that objectiveness, meaning Jesus, this is how manipulation works, is that they get you on a subjective level. They want you to feel either validated or invalidated, depending on the ideology or what they want in their needs. And so,
Right.
but Jesus, I mean, one thing I love about Jesus, he he didn't care what people felt. Not that he didn't care in an
No.
empathetic way.
Yeah. 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 I get it.
He was like he was like this. A tree is known by its fruits.
That's right.
So I look at myself. Am I a good dude?
Hmm.
Hmm. What am I doing? What am I not doing? How am I treating my family? How am I treating my wife?
Right.
How am I treating my coworkers? How am I treating these people that I call them my brothers? And so this for me is objective. What makes God God? How do I know that this sublime being is really real? I need to know because one thing that Paul said is that if what God is, he was talking about the resurrection, but if what God is and the hope that God gives us is not real, we are the most miserable dudes on the face of the planet. And I don't want to be miserable, bro.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
My thing is just take your time. Think. Like you're sitting down, you're having your coffee, and you start thinking about prove to yourself that you're in the faith. This is objective, and so I found myself in certain ways like, hey, Rene, you ain't that bad. You're right, dude. But in certain ways, I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
this is me. This is the guy
You start
that
to,
supposed
yeah.
to yeah. Go
You
ahead.
start to look in the mirror.
Oh, but it's so hard. I don't like it. It it hurts to see the things because it's easier to live a life where you can just edit it, make up it, fix it up and make yourself look good. And I just want to really, I'd rather be less good, but good
Right.
than have this like inflated ego. And then on that day, I'm confused
Right.
before our judge.
Right. Yeah.
So,
That's right.
I mentioned to you earlier, I don't know if we were live, but a lot of things that I noticed in myself when I came out, I had a lot of manipulating traits and I
Mm.
had a lot of behaviors that weren't good. And I had to fix that. I'm sure I still do. I'm positive I still do. But by comparison, I feel like and I was just telling someone the other day, and I'm happy. I feel like I'm a better dude. And
Right.
I don't want to take away like it's all the glory of God. I know 100%. But people, they think God is like a magical juju, like God's gonna make you good, and you're gonna
Magic.
feel like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Ding.
I'm a good dude. No,
Uh,
Jesus.
click
It,
your
what,
heels
what,
3 times.
yeah. So what goes without saying, what people can't realize because they don't acknowledge Jesus was a human, they don't realize that for a human to do what he did, it wasn't easy.
Mm-mm.
It took work. It took labor. He
Right.
compared the way of the kingdom to a man building a house.
That's right.
And so he built his house in God. I'm sure, and we know God was his help. God was his
It's a
increase.
good foundation.
Right. He was working hard.
Right.
And so my point is to sum it up is we need to reflect, self-reflect, destroy, and build inside of us every day.
Amen. Yeah.
Mhm.
Beautiful. That's a beautiful answer. Yeah. Wow. Very special. Yeah. So was there a point when you doubted God or the Bible, or was it always uh were you always seeking?
I think I think that there's two extremes. So the one extreme is to romanticize your relationship with God. Like you've always had it, it's been good. I got the best marriage and we love each other. There's passion. It wasn't all like that in the
The
reality.
facade. The facade,
Yeah,
yeah.
but there was a facade. But the other extreme is
Mm-hmm.
to act like God wasn't there.
Mm.
When you were in that bad situation and you were like, God help me.
Right.
He was there. Yeah, I didn't know anything about doctrine of Jesus. I didn't understand all these deep things that were written in the Bible and Daniel and Revelation, but I knew enough that
Right.
there was a God. I knew so much that there was a God that in my ignorance, I was able to say, God, this doesn't look good. Help me.
Right.
So I feel like my point is, in a way, I've always had a relationship with God, just a bad one.
Mm.
You know, if that makes sense, like
It does. It does. It
it's a
was
bad one.
tainted. It was tainted. You know,
I was,
because yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I mean, there's no way that you wouldn't be tainted if it was, it's kind of like when I was growing up as a Jehovah's Witness,
Mhm.
I had a different reality of life. So a lot of things that I did in the past, I look at myself just like looking at the man in the mirror, and I'm like, what in the world were you thinking? But it was because a lot was because of that mindset as well. But then there's also the part where you gotta battle your own demons as well, including all this outside stuff that is related to your life as well, that influences and
Of
pulls
course.
and pushes and all that. So it does take a battle to get through it. There's times when I mean I for anybody that's having those type of thoughts, and I on my channel we talk about anything and everything, but having those type of thoughts, I've had it so many times in my life. So many times.
Of course,
um
this is what sin is. Yeah.
right, right. But anybody listening to this, it's like I there's times when you ever think about something from the past and you're like, oh shoot, oh my God, you get what I'm saying?
No,
Um
brother, listen, there were things that I forgot. I forgot.
right,
And then when I remembered, like I mentioned before, shame. How
right,
can you forget something so non-trivial? It was not like a little thing like you remember that time I banged my head in the wall. No,
right,
it was
right.
these are big things that we just the
Suppress.
body, the capability of the mind to just
Right, right. That's right. Deflect it completely. Yeah.
yeah,
And see, and that's the thing. If you're listening to this, a lot of things do have to come back up in order for you to be able to, like you said, destroy it, to cut it out, to get
hard.
rid of it.
Yeah,
It has to come back up, and it has to. You have to deal with that, but be glad that you're dealing with it, because picture your timeline, and every time you're able to deal with something, that dot on that timeline is going just like that, and there it is, it's gone, and here
right.
you are
And it's
still
little
going
by little.
little by
Yeah,
little. Yeah.
don't
Take it
rush.
little by little. I'm doing all these multiple projects. I honestly, because I'm in the bus right now, and behind this screen is like all these monitors and everything. And I have so many multiple projects. So I literally have to say, take care of this one, maybe give this one 20 minutes, maybe give this one an hour, and go eat dinner and break it up. And you got to look at your life the same way. Don't try to think that you have to tackle everything all at one time,
Yeah,
because life goes on and it just keeps ticking. Um,
yeah.
yeah,
Let me just
yeah,
turn on the lights here real quick. Can I turn on the lights?
yeah, sure, sure, sure. Go for it.
This is recording,
You're
not
good. You're
live.
good.
Yeah,
It's all
so
good.
I don't know where we were, but yeah,
We were, yeah, just to anybody out there that's listening. I mean, we are testimony that you can get through it. Really, no matter what it is. And there was one thing that you were talking about, is the guilt. And if you believe in the Bible, if you're listening, that guilt, you got to remember, as long as you there's only one sin that is unforgivable. So y- you're allowed to mess up a couple of times now. So don't be too hard on yourself, because if I was too hard on myself, then I wouldn't be here talking right
right,
now
right,
to
right.
Rene.
Of course, right.
Yes.
And part of healing, and it could be in any situation. It doesn't even have to be um a church community situation. It could be a school situation, a upbringing situation. And
Right.
when we forget what we've been through, we start thinking that our traits that we have and the difficulties we have was simply a self-identity issue. Like,
Mm,
it's all my fault. Like, this is the
mm,
way I am. I don't know why I'm like this. But when you remember, as a little kid, you went through this. As a teenager, you went through that. well, no wonder I'm going through this. No wonder I'm suffering this because we're so hard on ourselves. But if you look at yourself the way you would look at your child, if you
Mm,
look at yourself the way you would look at your neighbor,
right.
you would be a little bit more patient because I'm for sure that the gift that I see now is not the one from 5 years ago. I'm
Oh no.
I know that's a fact.
Oh no. I've been through the fire.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
yeah. Totally
it's a
different.
process.
Totally different guy. Go back and smack him a couple of times. Try and knock
Nah, nah, don't be so tough on me. You've been through a
knock,
lot, brother.
knock a little sense into him.
You can't.
I know,
Sometimes
no,
if you
I know
try.
gift though. I know gift though. He would have appreciated the smack.
Yeah, no, okay, all right. You know him good, so that's different.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know him pretty well, you know.
You'd be surprised. Sometimes you think you know a person, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, he might chase me.
man,
Oh man. So what are you doing now? What is your where say I did want to push this forward. What are you doing now?
okay, so when you ask me what I'm doing, you mean what am I doing?
With you finally being able to stand up with your life. How is your
Mhm.
life right now? It could be overall, but you know what I'm trying to also get to with your platform that you have
Yeah.
started. But where are you, you know, what are you doing now with your life
So
that
I think, once I felt my family was in order and I felt that I do, just throwing it out there, I do, um, I help a few families out in New York, an
wow.
hour from me, and we meet every every week on Sundays, sometimes Wednesdays, depending on my work schedule, but they usually do their thing too. And we it's most Spanish speaking, and it's like 4 or 5 families, and we just we sing and we talk about God. So I have that going on a local level
Oh,
sense, and
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
so if that grows or doesn't grow, it is what it is. But
Yeah, I love it.
I'm happy for the little bit I have there because it feels good, you know.
Yes, yes. Okay.
So and then I want to I like you mentioned, I don't know if we were live or not, but like you mentioned, I I'm not sure what I want, you know what I'm saying? But I know in me there is a desire to help others.
And to move on it and take action.
It's you gotta be about it because if you're not about it, okay, you're just gonna be a dreamer.
Yeah.
You
There you
know, it's
go.
like
Yes.
we talked about, and it's good to have a dream, don't get me wrong. We like I mentioned to you, we got to work on the family, you got to work on yourself, you got to work with the people, the neighbors around you, but there's a time where like you've done this, check, still work in progress, you've done this, check, still a work in progress.
Right.
And then you mentioned sometimes we got to make that special time, even if it's just 20 minutes for this.
Right.
And so I started about I don't remember, 7 months ago. I started doing some YouTube videos, and I did like maybe I don't remember 3 or 4 in English by myself, like
What's the
the
name
way
of
you
your
see
channel?
me. Um, Rene. It's called Rene.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'll
And yeah,
make sure I have a
simple.
link. I'll have a
Okay.
link in the
Yeah.
description.
Yeah. And then and I'll open up those videos again so that
Awesome.
people see.
Awesome.
I
Yeah, that'll
had
be
close a
great.
few videos because I noticed while doctrinally, maybe, I'm correct and I understand it all, but I noticed that when I was speaking, I felt like I was a little bit judgmental. You know what I mean? Like, how many years did it take me? Did you write that down? How many years it took me?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
took 34, 35 years.
Yeah.
And I want you to understand it in one YouTube video. You know what I mean?
Hey, I actually I've had to learn a lot. I had to learn a lot with YouTube. It is a learning curve.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I had to ask myself, who am I talking to? Am I talking maybe to someone like you who has some biblical experience? Am I talking to like this guy walking down the street that knows nothing, and he just happened to like hit the wrong word, and my face comes up here, and he's like, "What is this? Who
Right.
am I talking to? Who is
Right.
my
Who is your
audience?"
audience?
I don't know. I'm to this day, I'm still like, so,
Yeah, man.
so
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
had to home in. I had to home in on because I can go into I can go into so many directions, and you know I've been on tour. I've been in the music business. I've done films, pay-per-view events, all that kind of
Wow.
stuff. And
Mhm.
me too. I was trying to figure out where, but I wanted to help people. And like you said, you got to do it. It's only going to stay a dream if you're not doing something about it to make it move forward, to push it forward. And what I figured out was, and it made it so much easier, is that you're right, just do it. Trial and error is the best way that I learn sometimes. And I also learn from other people's mistakes as well. But even with this platform, I realized where I needed to be with it, what type of topics, and even because I was going to invite you on with one of the, because Borat that's in the group.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I saw one
I
of the videos. Yeah,
Oh, okay, yeah, man.
yeah.
We are starting this group video session, Zoom calls where we have all different types of backgrounds to talk about the Bible, to discuss the Bible. So I definitely
So
want to
cool.
get you on one of those. But it's right. Who is your audience? I had to also learn that everybody has their voice, and I gotta let them have their voice. If I want them to hear my voice, and all those principles. But yeah,
For
yeah,
sure.
it's a learning experience for sure. I also would like to, because I have a couple of friends that speak Spanish extremely well. I'm broken up Spanish. I grew up in the Spanish congregation as a Jehovah's Witness, but I do, and I was already going to start this Spanglish thing where we can have on the platform people that only speak Spanish, people on a platform that speak Spanglish, and then we have people on a platform that speak only English. And I think that would be a lot of fun.
You heard it here first, guys.
You heard it here first. And I would like to put my hand up as an advocate for us trying to get that started as soon as possible, Rene.
Yeah. Um, well, one
That
thing
would
you
be
said
fun.
was, you just mentioned it that you had to give other people a voice. So one of the things that we complained about when we were in a certain type of group is that we felt that it was a little top heavy as far as administration is concerned. It's like the voice of the one beneath is not heard. And
Mm,
so most people that are watching this, especially if they're ex-Jehovah Witness, they're seeing like, hey, I saw something that was not right. I tried to communicate it and I was shut down.
right.
And so what happens many times is that you come out of the group, you're like, hey, that's not right. And you come out of the group because you have a doctrinal difference. But the spirit of dogmatism, it stays with you. And that's something, in my opinion, it's something that we need to work on. And we have to understand that everybody has a growth.
Right.
There's only one judge, and that's Jesus.
That's right.
And in that day, he will judge in the glory of the Father and with the angels. And I'm not here to judge. I can go give, yo, that's not right what you said, bro.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not good. I'll
Mm-hmm.
do that. Don't get me
Mm-hmm.
wrong. Yo,
Yeah,
what you're
yeah,
doing is
yeah.
not good.
Yeah, we can help and correct each
Yeah.
other
But the
out
judge,
of love.
right, right. And so giving people a voice is very Jesus-like, and you can see that in the culture of the scriptures. He heard the Sadducees. He sat with these sinners. He
Yeah,
sat with the Pharisees. He even was invited to eat with these Pharisees, and he
yeah,
went.
yeah.
And
He
so,
he even wept with Lazarus' mom, even knowing that he had the power to raise Lazarus from the dead. But he still wept with her. Now, is that not cool?
yeah, yeah.
Uh, come on over here, Lazarus. Come out.
No, but he had feelings, you know. He's
That's right. That's right.
yeah.
That's right.
Mm,
Yeah. Yeah. Cool
mm.
deal. I try to keep these interviews under an hour or to an hour.
No,
And
you good. Whenever you wanna.
but we always do like we always do follow-ups. And I definitely want to have you back. If there's any topics that you ever want to share or something that you have learned, all you have to do is just get in touch with me, bro. And I mean, we'll just
Hey.
come right back on because I look, I one of the things that I realized with my channel is that at first it was towards the healing project just for extra always witnesses, but then I knew in my mind, especially with all the friends that I have, it can't be just about the extra always witnesses because
Yeah.
this is a story that is cloned throughout different I guess different groups in the world. So
Yeah.
it's not just welded to Jehovah's Witnesses and ex Jehovah's Witnesses. So now I'm making a platform where you can come on here and really talk about things. If a young kid wants to share some of his ideas in science and entrepreneurship, come on, and get on the channel. And like you said, give that voice as well. I don't know if you know this, Rene, I'm working on a documentary film. It's dedicated to ex Jehovah's Witnesses, but again, if you go through the channel and
I
you go down,
saw
okay,
that you said you were working on it. I didn't. It
yeah,
was a small, like 2 minute video or something.
okay, that's one of
Yeah.
my teasers. I started working on it last year, and I was traveling everywhere. Then I had to take a break for myself, and then also I had to catch up with some finances with the amount of traveling I was doing, the equipment, just everything.
Gosh, yes.
But now I finally figured things out, and I'm able to do this basically full time now, and it's a really good
Okay.
feeling.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm working on the documentaries, just for that. But there's all other branches of the documentary that I'm working on that is there's going to be like a series, but then there's going to be like basically two films, but one's going to be more directed in one way and one's going to be more 360 degrees about everything.
Hmm.
So I'll just keep releasing that. But yeah, can't wait to have you back on. This will probably be uploaded here in just a couple of days, and I'll have all those links out there, Renee. But this has been great, man. Thank you so
All right.
much.
All
And
right. It's
I'm sure the
uh,
viewers are clapping for you right now. Give them a standing ovation, man. That was a
yeah.
good talk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it was a pleasure, gift. You invited me. If I was in my right mind, I probably would have said no, but you know, I was like, what I got to lose?
Well,
Why
yeah,
not?
exactly. Look what we got started, man. Look what we got
Yeah, yeah.
started.
So,
So I'll be
but yeah,
messaging you. I'm gonna start editing this tonight, but I'll be
take your
messaging
time.
you about
The link and
getting
whatever.
getting that big feast started with all the languages going at once.
All
So
right. Let me know. Let me
yeah,
know,
that'd
brother.
be great. All right,
All
you
right.
have a good night.
All right. Take it
See
easy.
you
Peace.
later. All right,
All right.
peace.